I first started in triathlon, really helping out at events while my husband was racing, and from then on John Lilly, the then founder of 220 magazine, asked me if I'd like to go and work for the magazine, and started from there. And I started doing, at the beginning, admin, keying in all the subscriptions, general keying in of reports that people sent in, and all the races and everything. We'd have to key in every single bit by hand, and it all started there. Then we started up the series, and the first marathon triathlon in the UK was actually held in this lake behind me, organised by 220 magazine. And back in those days, I think technology was a lot different. Everyone had ill-fitting wetsuits, and people came out of the water freezing cold, and we'd have to take them off into a room and rub them down, get them warm before they went out on their bicycles. So I think that's the biggest change since the early days, is technology and nutrition and participation. I think those are the main differences. Back in those days, the bikes were totally different. As said, wetsuits, everyone started then to go out and get more wetsuits that were better fitting and made to measure. Generally nutrition, people were just having bananas back in those days, and now you've got all the gels and recovery drinks and everything else that goes with it, really. 220 started because there was only an American magazine with a really small piece about UK in it, and so especially after Hawaii Ironman, I think, and there was nothing about the Brits written anywhere, that John Lilly decided to start up 220. And originally there was only a few people, and to get subscriptions at this 220 Ironman marathon triathlon, if you subscribed, you could enter the race for £2.20 back in those days. Since then, I mean, triathlon's gone wild, and 220 has really expanded and looks much better and glossy and lovely compared to those early days. And in those early days, we had slides, everything, all the pictures were on slides, and it was a very long-winded process to get everything to print. And I'm sure it's a lot easier for you all these days, but yes, it just looks lovely, and the sport has just grown tremendously since then. And I think that 220 has done a great job at promoting the sport to everyone out there, and it's made people realise that the sport is accessible to everyone. In the early days, I think they thought that you were a bit radical if you did triathlon, and you were mad or superhuman if you did Ironman. And magazines and 220 have actually brought it to the public to show that anyone can have a go at triathlon, and it's great to see people out there participating now. And in the early days also, people would nearly always do a pool swim before they attempted an open water, but now people just go straight to open water. Even some go straight to Ironman, and they've never done a triathlon before. So that's great how the sport has come on since those early days, and the magazine's helped that along.